Welcome back, everybody. So my next movie review for you is The Dark Knight Rises. So The Dark Knight Rises was released in 2012, once again directed by Christopher Nolan, and also the last movie in this series. Now I have to be honest straight from the start, this is my least favourite Batman movie out of this series, but I do not hate this in any way, shape or form. So The Dark Knight Rises follows 7 years after the events of The Dark Knight. Gotham is in peacetime, also no longer needs Batman at this time. We also get to see a Bruce Wayne who has become a recluse and a cripple, and also dealing with the fact that he can't, or he doesn't have to be Batman at this moment. Now I remember when they were making this movie and they released the fact that Tom Hardy was going to be playing Bane, and I was just like, yeah, I'm on board here. This is going to be good. This is going to be a great villain. It's going to be, I'm well on board. And then they released the teaser trailer for this, and at the end of that, you see Batman backing away from Bane. You obviously can see that he's having a tough fight, and then Bane's just walking up those stairs, just nice and casually, and all that. And you can see the fear in Batman in this little teaser, and I was just like, I so can't wait to go to the cinema. Now I went there on its opening day, and I was just like a little kid. Honest to God. And I went into this movie, and the first half an hour of this movie was absolutely fantastic. You get to see the tension building, and that, you know, it's building towards that first fight scene between Batman and Bane. And I was just like, yeah, here we go, here we go, here we go. And we had the fight scene, that was absolutely brilliant. And then there's a middle bit of this movie, and then you've got the end. Now the middle bit of this movie is the bit that I've got the problem with. It was just a little bit overstretched for me, and I found myself in the cinema I was just starting to feel a little bit bored, to be fair. I get what they were trying to do, I really, really do, but I think they kind of overstretched it. I think the movie is just a little bit too long. I think they could have condensed it down a little bit more and made it into a bit more of this middle part of the movie, a bit more of an enjoyable watch. That is the only real bugbear. Well, there's a couple of other little bugbears in this movie that I dislike, but I'm not really going to go into depth with them. I just found that this middle section of this movie, between the first fight of Bane and when Batman returns, just a little bit boring. It really, really did, and I can never really put my finger. I just think they overstretched it. Now, going back to the beginning part, where we get to see the fight scene between Batman and Bruce and Bane, I should say, sorry. Got a lot running around in here, which I want to talk about. So, like I said, the first half an hour of this movie was building up to this, and we finally got to see it. Now, even though I knew exactly what was going to happen at the end of this fight scene, when I was watching it, I was just like, going, this is actually really, really good. It was a very well choreographed fight scene between the two. There was hardly any kind of dramatic, there was no music, actually, in this fight scene, which really, really made it good, and you actually got to see Batman for the first time seriously in distress, struggling, but yet he still never really gave up. You know, even though he knew he was getting beat, he knew that the odds were against him, he still kept going. And even to the point where he broke his back, and you just think of it, you go, that was really, really good. Seeing one of my favourite heroes of all time getting an ass kicking on a scale and then getting his back broken, I was just like, whoa, that was intense. Then we get to see him in the prison, and you could see his upset, his distress and all that, and you could see that he didn't want to see his beloved Gotham be destroyed, and you just got to see him rise again, that determination come back that he had in the first one, and it all comes flooding back. And then with his return to Gotham, you get to see the second fight scene between Batman and Bane, and you could seriously see the aggression from him, and that is what made that movie for me, is that end fight scene. The first fight scene and the second fight scene are my two most favourite parts of this movie, full stop. Especially the second one, because you got to see the aggression that he had in the first movie, and that is what I really, really did enjoy. Other things I did enjoy in this is, I like the storyline. I get what they were trying to do with this. It was something different, and it also shadowed the Batman Begins. Obviously with Bane and Natalia as well in this one. Ra's al Ghul's daughter, which I thought was a nice touch. It's a nice little nod to the first movie, and it was just if it wasn't for that middle bit where it seemed like it was overstretched, I think I would have enjoyed this movie a little bit more. There is a slight other dislike I have with this movie is the ending. When you saw Batman really give Bane an ass kicking, and then within a turn of a coin, you see him tied up, and there's a certain sense there. You go, he's actually going to die here, and that's kind of what I disliked as well with it. In every Batman movie that I've watched, you never really get that feel that he's going to die, you know? And in this movie, you got that feel. And I probably get that they probably put this in there on purpose to try and get that feel. But as a Batman fan, I just didn't really like that kind of aspect. But that being said, it was still an enjoyable watch, but it was still just my least favourite. There are other things in this movie which I dislike, which I'm not going to go too into depth with because there's too minute and too small, but it lacked the energy from the first two, to be fair, but it was still an enjoyable watch. So if I was to rate this, I would give it an 8 out of 10. So on that note, please tell me what you think. Put it in the comments down below as normal. I hope you all have a great rest of the day, whatever you're doing. Please take care and goodbye.